You're listening to the Level Best Network.
And there we go. This is the Intercon Insider Live, episode 1, 2, 3. The Intercon Insider Live is brought to you by Magical Journeys, Intercot's official travel agency, and the Disney Vacation Experts, and by the Official Ticket Center for tickets to your favorite Central Florida theme parks and attractions at discounted rates. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
And welcome. Hello. With me tonight in this early episode of the Intercon Insider Live, due to the whole Game of Thrones thing, which I've never seen, by the way.
Oh, me either.
Really? We're 2 for 4?
Jason?
Really?
I've seen a few episodes, but I haven't watched it since the beginning. So.
Oh my gosh!
So if I bring up any references, none of you will get it. Okay,
we stink.
Just do that the whole night, just like interchanging the deer.
Perfect.
Exactly. So
I'll just drop little things all episode, and no one will know what.
I know there are like dragons.
We have no idea. Yeah,
there's a chair with swords.
Yes,
something
I do know
like
that's called the Iron Throne.
Yes.
Okay.
Neat.
With me tonight, we've got Jason.
Hello.
You know him, you love him, Figmont.
Yes.
Justin.
Bronchitis.
Hello, everyone.
Oh,
Long time no see.
Bronchitis.
Yeah. So if my voice goes out halfway through, that's why.
Okay. And Carolyn,
hello,
who is in bed and ready for the Intercot pajama
casual chilling,
hanging out. What the heck? That's a new one. I don't think we've ever broadcast from bed before. Absolutely. So it's been a little while. We last saw you at the end of March. We had that discussion. We were trying to figure out what episode number this was.
We had a spring break, but we're back.
Yeah, we did. We kind of took a little break. We try and get these out at least monthly, if not more often. Sometimes more often. We have had a bunch of stuff that has gone to our Facebook feed because we've been at a number of events, I think, since the last time we broadcast, or at least one big one. That being the Star Wars media event that went on down in Orlando, Lake Buena Vista.
So I hear there's going to be some Star Wars rides down there now, huh?
Apparently.
Interesting.
I'll get into this. A little bit as to what happened. Thank you. This was a hosted event. Disney invited us down to hard hat tour the new Star Wars Galaxy's Edge Black Spire Outpost. That is a mouthful. They made a very big deal about the fact that it was a hard hat tour. You had to have hard-soled shoes, and you had to have long pants, and it was a whole thing because it's still, at least in Orlando, one big construction zone. So we really didn't know kind of what to expect. In fact, going into the actual event, we were not sure whether we were, absolutely going to get a tour, but at the point where they started talking about shoes and things like that, and then towards the end, they kind of let it slip that we're gonna get kind of a walking tour, as it were. So we got there, and basically the whole day they had scheduled out for us doing a bunch of different things, and as Disney typically does, this was just one component of a larger set of things that they wanted us to do that day. You can see a lot of them again in our Facebook videos, and Jason reposts a lot of them to the boards and to our Twitter feed. So no matter where you're hanging out, whether it be on the site or you're hanging out on any one of the social media feeds, you can see what's going on. But gives us a chance to talk to the folks there. It was the 30th anniversary of Hollywood Studios as well at the same time. So they had a little ceremony for that. They had us talk to some cast members about the changes that were coming, about the food that was, being presented. Since we had been there last time, and you guys can comment on this as well, got to see Lightning McQueen's, I believe it's Racing Academy, I think. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So I had seen that, I think like 3 or so weeks before that, on the day or the day before it officially opened. Really nice little addition to Hollywood Studios. I will say that. I don't know what you guys can kind of chime in.
What exactly is it?
It's a show. It's not really a motion simulator, but they do give you that effect. So it's basically from Cars 3, where he's doing the
like
training.
testing.
Yeah. It's that.
Okay.
I could not watch most of it due to motion sickness because you don't
Really?
move. That was.
I was sitting right next to Jason. I just look over and he has his head down, and I go, "Okay."
Yeah. Even with even on Boning or Dramamine or something, that's too much.
Is it like a circle
Really?
vision screen?
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you hit the nail on the head, Carolyn. It's kind of like a half circle vision kind of thing. So
And then there's a Lightning McQueen and an actual animatronic Lightning McQueen, and he's pretending to be like driving through.
yes.
Yep.
And a very good one, by the way, at that.
That was impressive.
Yeah, he does move
it's
around.
I'd say it's targeted towards a younger audience, but there were a couple of jokes in there that I think maybe younger kids didn't quite get. But
and on a hot day in the studios, it's got fairly large capacity, and they got benches that you can sit on. Granted, they're not the most comfortable things in the world, but they are a place to sit down, and it's air conditioned. So,
yep.
So now I have questions about you going to Star Wars, though, John.
Yes. Okay. So moving on to that. Yes.
So where did they take you in? Because I know there's the little, looks like a bridge you're going to walk underneath down at the end of Grand Avenue. Is that what it's called?
Yes.
So there's that. You went in that way.
Yeah, we didn't go in through Toy Story Land.
Okay, so on the bridge right now, there's a painting.
Tunnel, I think, right?
Yeah, it's like a tunnel you go through, but right now the tunnel's covered with a painting of the Millennium Falcon. But you're saying that when you walk through there, that's not the first thing you see is the Millennium Falcon.
No. So let me be clear on what exactly happened. So we were really psyched. Look, I feel very fortunate to have gotten past that gate and to be able to see what I saw. Although we really, beyond that, we didn't get to see much. So once inside there is a rather large tunnel that transitions you from almost like you're going in a underpass or something, and then suddenly it transitions into rocks. And in there right now, they've got a model of the land. So we actually could see kind of how things were going to be laid out. I don't imagine that will be there later.
Yeah.
they take that out. But so it does kind of a gradual transition, and there's a lot of interesting stuff going on, to make you feel like you're going from the city to someplace where you've never been, in that tunnel. So then you come out of that, and essentially we only got to walk, I don't know. I mean, I'm guesstimating 50 yards into the land, and then they had kind of, cement blocks there, like preventing us from going any further. So we went all the way up to the edge point, and they've got a lot of the trees and things like that and such in, and looked straight forward. And so any of you have been out to California and you've seen how impressive Cars Land looks, right? When you look at it and you look up at the mountains and stuff, and you're far away, and you're like, holy moly, how huge is that, right? You're trying to judge, like, really, because you're a Disney nerd, and in the back of your head you're like, oh, that's only about probably 3 stories tall.
Perspective, right?
The first perspective, right? Yeah, all of us know, the tricks of the trade and everything. So I come in there, and it looks off in the distance. It looks like it's 30 stories tall.
Wow.
It's bananas how crazy things look. The rocks and the things going up, and on the planet of, what is it? Batu.
Batu.
Okay. I'm getting my Star Wars stuff.
You getting the lingo.
I know.
Now, is there so some kind? You know what they call it a weenie. So like when you are walking into Cars Land, there's like it looks like the street, and the fire hall is down at the end, and the weenie that makes you want to go forward. Is there a weenie from where you were standing?
So right now, I couldn't tell you. Okay, so understand again, stuff is still being built.
Okay.
So what we were seeing, I could see to when we're going in to the left. Not what is the other attraction? See, now I've forgotten it. The other attraction,
Rise of the Resistance.
Rise of the Resistance. So you could see where they were doing work on that, and it almost looked like some sort of massive tunnel, or where a ship had crashed or something. I don't know what was going on there. And again, it may just be an exoskeleton for something where they're actually going to put some cover over. Yeah. I don't know at this point. And we weren't allowed to take any pictures, so I have to use my words. As far as elsewhere in the land, I could see was kind of the landscape of things. And we couldn't see back into the area where the Millennium Falcon is going to be. So in other words, when you come in, I don't know if the weenie is just the fact that it looks absolutely massive. Like massive, like.
Well, then that could be that they want you to go and like, oh, what's behind this corner?
Yeah, like you come into this massive place, and the Rise of the Resistance ride is out front, and I'm sure there's going to be other stuff going on. But then you're going to go deeper into the land and into more intimate spaces. Yeah. So I think that's the key of what's going on here. It's like I said, it's just bananas how massive it is. And you all know from having been to Hollywood studios in the past, it just never felt big. Like the park always felt small, right? I mean, it just felt tiny. So now you go in there and it's like, where did all this land come from? Like it just looks like and I have a feeling, between them reclaiming some spots backstage and things like that. And then I think we underestimated how much space, like New York Street took up, how much space the Backlot Tour took up, how much space all that kind of things back there, actually took up. So bottom line is, all I can tell you is it has the potential to be absolutely as cool as the Wizarding World, okay, which I think is on the level of theme park, creativity and imagination. That's like right up there at the pinnacle of things from an immersion standpoint. I think it has the possibility to eclipse that, absolutely. So that's what's kind of cool about this. And I think, if it does, great, because then that'll push Universal even harder.
I read
their next stuff. Yeah.
I read something online that there's, I guess that you guys have heard, so there's a shop where you can go in and build like a droid, like a fairly large size droid. Mm-hmm. Outside of that, somebody was saying that there's going to be, it looks like a trash heap. This will be kind of outside. It'll be a trash heap of parts, and there's going to be 2 droid animatronics outside that, like, if you go back into this little garbagey kind of corner that you wouldn't think anything's there, the animatronics are like, help us, we're stuck in this trash and stuff.
Oh, really? Probably interacting with the crowd and stuff like that, yeah.
So yeah, it'll like
you in the green shirt, come help us.
No, I think of like the Center Street on Main Street, USA. How there's that middle little road, and if you go all the way down there, you'll hear like somebody's having piano lessons in the upstairs. It'll just be kind of like a little hidden off thing that you go find, and
I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah, me too.
If it does happen, that'll be cool. I mean, we heard. I interviewed one of the Imagineers working on the project there. So again, that interview is up online. You can watch that. You can check out my initial thoughts after I came out of it that night. And beyond what you hear here, it's pretty much the same. But, talking to Imagineering, the food and beverage, like, the place that they have that apparently they're going to be repurposing one of the engines to be doing, kind of, space gyros.
Grilling.
I guess,
Well, do you want to talk about the food, John? Because they just released all those menus.
Hey, good segue, Jason.
And you do get blue and green milk. That's just so exciting.
So the place John was just talking about is actually part of the market.
Okay.
So there's going to be the Black Spire Outpost Market, which is going to have the shops and then 3 food stalls.
Mm-hmm.
That is called Ronto Roasters.
That's it.
Yep.
Yeah, that was the name.
So they have the Ronto wrap.
Is a Ronto some kind of an animal? Like a Bronco burger,
Don't
Ronto?
Bronto burger, Brontosaurus burger.
Yeah.
The Flintstones.
Yeah.
Don't think so.
But as
Carolyn mentioned, there is the milk stand. Not sure if they're going to more specifically name that or not, but right now the official name is Milk Stand with blue milk, green milk, and a souvenir drink vessel.
Which really isn't going to be milk
drink
at all,
vessel?
But...
Yes, a Bubba Wombo Family Farms novelty drink vessel. Will be a souvenir you can take. And then there will be a popcorn stand as well. That's going to have a blend of sweet and spicy popcorn popped in coconut oil.
Okay.
Yeah, the milk is not actually going to be milk. It's a, what is it? I forget.
I just
some
wonder.
Kind of a non-translucent liquid.
I think it was I think it was almost more like a horchata, kind of, or it's like maybe like a rice milk.
Huh.
Oh. Nothing says refreshing on a hot summer day in Florida.
Right.
Milk was a bad
I think that's why they are making it something slightly different. Then there will be a main food area that, just not to turn the entire podcast into food talk, looks a lot like the Pandora Cantina. As far as the menu goes, it's called Docking Bay 7 Food and Cargo. So that'll be the main dining hall, and it will be a counter service. There will actually not be any table service, it looks like, in the land, which is kind of interesting. Yeah, so if you think back, the last 2 big lands they built, there's no table service in them.
Is it because they don't want people hanging around that long? Like
maybe
a sit-down meal is going to make people stay for an hour just
like
to
a
eat.
horsey type creature.
Yeah.
Horsey.
Yeah, Jen says the Ronto is a horsey type creature.
Delicious
horsey.
Ronto.
Delicious Ronto meat.
I'd like my Ronto medium well, please.
Well, well, if you're into things named after Star Wars creatures, you will want to go to the Cantina. So they finally released the full drink menu. It is probably about half alcoholic and half non-alcoholic. But just to highlight some of the more interesting named cocktails, there will be a fuzzy Tauntaun, the Jedi.
What?
A fuzzy Tauntaun.
And
I thought
it's
the creature that they. Yeah, right. Okay.
Yep. I can't talk. Jedi mind trick. The Outer Rim. A Bespin Fizz.
Sounds yummy.
Blue Bantha.
A blue Bantha?
Jabba Juice.
Ooh, no
Jabba
thanks.
Juice. Ooh.
Carbon Freeze.
Oh, that's a good
Can
name.
I have the diet Jabba juice, please?
Yeah. Gold Squadron Lager. So they have some beers too. White Wampa Ale. Bad Motivator IPA. And they have a wine also on tap. Imperial Guard Red.
Oh,
So probably a red blend. That'd be
Yes. So that's kind of the main highlights there. So we have pictures of about 8 of those drinks on the boards.
I also heard that they will be serving alcohol at opening.
Right.
Because if you're only in there for the 3-hour window or whatever they give you for your land reservation, they are serving alcohol at like 8 in the morning.
Light it up at 8.
Light it up, baby.
Well, that'd be good. When your buzz is wearing off from the night at Epcot, you can just roll right in.
Hair of the dog.
There you go.
Or the Tauntaun.
Hair of the dog. Or the Ronto.
See what you did there.
Nice.
It's very nice. So yeah, the food. That's so yeah. I mean, it looks like it has the potential to be really interesting. Although, reminder, only one of the rides is open at so the Millennium Falcon ride will be the only one that's open.
So at least phase 1 looks like it will be those 3 dining places. What's interesting is they have detailed the shops, but they haven't been real clear if that's all phase 1 or not. But
can you remind me again when it's opening in Walt Disney World?
August 29th?
Yeah, the end of August.
Okay.
The thing that they did say about the shops was that you're not going to find any Disney World T-shirts and stuff in them.
Right.
Like the merch is all going to be land specific, and so it would be something that would be sold on the planet of Batuu.
Yeah, there's a lot of like Sith artifacts and Jedi artifacts and those types of things that they've already released some pictures of. We've got those on the boards as well in some of the earlier posts, but they haven't been totally clear yet on if that's part of phase 1 or part of phase 2. It seems possible that the only thing in phase 2 might be Rise of the Resistance. It might be the whole rest of the land might be open, but they still haven't been really clear on that.
Yeah, I thought what they said was that the dining was going to be open from day 1 as well as the ride, but I don't know about this shopping. But I would imagine.
Did they give an idea of when phase 2 will start?
Nope.
In the interview, he mentioned something followed a few months later or something like that.
Yeah, for Disneyland, I know they've said later in the year.
Yeah.
But
I don't think they're giving
Disney's
specific
called
dates
spring December before, so.
They released pictures of the cast members' outfits, and they're even going to have a different name tag.
Yes.
Same sort of oval shape that we're used to seeing, but they're silver, and they've got like a really weird font.
Yeah, so if you want to see that, that's in the video I did with the cast member talking about merchandising. So they actually show how they're going to be able to mix and match kind of pieces of the outfit. You know, if it's a really warm day, maybe they won't wear their jacket, or it's a colder day, they might have a scarf or a jacket.
They make their own.
Yeah, there's land specific name tags, which look pretty cool.
Yeah.
So as well. So yeah, it really,
I think they did that in Pandora too, right? They're all the Ace expeditions.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Same idea.
Same idea. And same as with Pandora, like how Pandora has the little cheeseburger pods. Right. I didn't think they would last that long. I thought it was going to turn into everything to be chicken nuggets.
Yeah,
and
no
fries.
pods.
The last time I was there, I don't think the pods were on the menu anymore, just the children's menu.
Was that lunch only? I think they're only on the dinner menu now.
Oh, maybe that's what it was. Because they weren't on the regular menu; they were just on the children.
Yeah, for lunch, I think they're only on the children's menu.
I like those weird little things because you would
they still have
different food on Batuu. It wouldn't just be macaroni and.
Personally, I wonder how many shops worth of stuff that isn't theme park related and how long that will last. Whether this will be something that this is me being honest. And, the first year, maybe they do that and then they realize they're not quite selling as much stuff so now it'll be the Star Wars Rise of the Resistance t-shirt.
I don't even think it'll be a year.
Kind of stuff.
Maybe
2 months tops.
I would imagine the lightsaber stores and the droid factory will have some staying power. But, of course, we also don't know how big some of these shops are. If they are just stalls in the marketplace, I mean, they may not be very large.
I can't imagine them not wanting to push the merch in.
Well, the store at the end of
the really
merchandising.
What's that?
The shop at the end of Flights of Passage is all to do with the
It is, but they have land
Dragon
shirts and
things. What are they
avatar
called? Oh my
shirts.
gosh.
Banshees.
Banshees, thank you. Oh my god, brain fart there. Yeah. It doesn't have anything that's like
Yeah, they do.
Animal
They've got
Kingdom.
they have Avatar T-shirts and stuff like that. So, I mean, are you going to have a Darth Vader shirt with a and it'll say, beware of Darth and that kind
Darth
of
Vader
thing?
with
maybe it will be that, but it'll be one that you can't get anywhere else.
Or maybe it'll be, fight the power that be, and picture
Fight
of
the
Darth.
power.
I mean, fight the Force or be the Force. I don't know. I mean, it makes you wonder what the merch will be and how it.
Well, for the foreseeable future, I think Star Tours is still sticking around, so they still have that opportunity to sell that.
So
they have
go ahead.
closed 3 stores here recently.
Right.
So they may be redoing all of those. They might be putting more generic Star Wars stuff in those stores.
Okay. So it makes you wonder. So any speculation? Have you seen any speculation on what will happen, like with Star Tours and stuff like that? And the area between Star Tours, and it seems odd that they put that Grand Avenue. That's brand new. In there, and then you've got this kind of, you've got pizza. What is it, Pizza Rizzo's or whatever it is there, and you've got the Italian restaurant. What is it, Mama Melrose or
Mama Melrose's? Yeah,
back there. And
the berm they've built up there looks
weird,
pretty permanent. So
right.
I mean, I don't think they're going to wipe out Grand Avenue and Grand.
No, but
Park.
Where are you going to expand?
I think in theory they could connect back through by where the old parade route used to come out of. It was in between Backlot Express and Star Tours. That's where the parade. So I think if you go back through that, they could loop around behind all of that.
Does that connect to the back of Star Tours?
Eventually.
But of course,
maybe they'll do like what they did with Toy Story Midway Mania and back entrance to get into Star Tours.
All right, but we lost Justin. He just went somewhere.
The early comments when I think they did get an official to actually respond to that question was Star Wars Galaxy's Edge is an attraction in of itself. So we can have multiple Star Wars attractions in our park we already have.
Yeah. So, because it makes you wonder. It's Batu and Tatooine, right?
Right.
So you're 2 different planets.
Yes.
Well, no, because that's not really. There's Tatooine traders, but then there's the Endor Forest at the front of that building.
Which is also clearly a movie set, which they are trying to start to do away with.
Eventually, maybe that's the story they're going with right now, but in the future, maybe that will just be nothing, and the entrance will be on the backside, and they'll reroute it.
Right.
Sorry, I just had technical difficulties. You guys can still hear me and see me, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Sorry. I had a technical issue. I'm back.
Speaking of them getting rid of the movie Studios theme, a rumor that came out, I think, shortly after we last recorded, was that the Indiana Jones stunt show will no longer have a movie element to it. So it'll now, the rumor is where around the time the next movie comes out, they'll switch it to just a story you're watching, an Indiana Jones adventure.
So it's instead of it being part of the movies and the director and the whole 9 yards.
Right.
You're just seeing the stunt show.
Right. So they may also clear out the front, or maybe now it'll be the back of Star Tours, since it is clearly an indoor movie set out front. They've got like rigs and things, I think, clearly visible in the trees. So
yeah, that does make you wonder. So beyond Star Tours, the other thing is the Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway.
Yeah, the Runaway Railway.
So not only we also got kind of a little peek behind the the curtain on what's going on there with some pictures and things like that. But looks to be an interesting ride, and they confirmed it will have its own soundtrack.
Yep.
So they're composing a soundtrack specifically for that attraction.
And again, it looks cool. Like they've been just putting out pictures of artwork and stuff, but it looks neat. Like Goofy's driving your crazy train, and there'll be a lot of screens, but then like Mickey and Minnie animatronics will come out in their car and putt alongside your train, and it looks really neat. But they delayed it.
Yeah. They won't be animatronics also, by the way.
They're not? Oh,
nope.
Like
this is their 3.5D.
Oh, what's that mean?
Or sorry, 2.5D. They haven't said. There's something they're doing with high-def projectors and maybe some set pieces, but it doesn't sound like it's going to be full animatronics.
Oh, dang.
The idea is to give you the illusion of 3D without wearing 3D glasses. But to Carolyn's point, yes, the railway is running behind schedule already. It will now not open until spring 2020. It was originally announced as spring 2019, and then fall 2019, and now spring 2020.
That makes you wonder whether technically that things
maybe
are...
that 2.5D ain't working so well for them. And they're...
Yeah, it's that extra half D.
Yeah.
If you see Jen's comment there on the screen, do you see Goofy driving your car? I think, Jennifer, if you've been to the King Kong ride at Universal Studios, where you're sitting in a little truck and you can see the back of a driver's head, but it's just kind of fake in front of you, it looks like that. How would you say that? Like there's a screen up between you and your limo driver, and you can kind of see the back of the limo driver's head, and that'll be like the back of Goofy's head, and he'll turn around. And rah, rah, rah.
I mean, am I wrong? I thought in Kong that actually when you approached the ride vehicle, you could see the driver.
Yeah, I think it's a full.
It's not full animatronic, but it kind of moves and its head moves, so you do see
like
the
Total
shadow.
Recall?
Yeah, like Johnny Cab.
Johnny Cab from Total Recall, yeah.
Exactly.
That's what I remember, at least, but it's been...
Well, I just remember there being... It was kind of
3 years since I've been there.
A frosted glass, maybe.
They do have that. Yeah.
Once you're in the car, you can't see it quite perfectly, but
yeah.
Right.
But guess what?
What?
There's going to be 2 of them now. So although they snuck in a little announcement of the delay... The main announcement was that it's coming to Mickey's Toontown in Disneyland, opening in 2022.
And hopefully not replacing Roger Rabbit, right?
Correct. According to all cast and anyone else who you can talk to, it is not replacing Roger Rabbit's Toon Car Spin. It is replacing probably the Gag Factory store. But right behind that, I guess there's a pretty big backstage area that they can reclaim. So it looks like that's where it's going. But the comment was they don't want to replace anything right now. They are trying to add more capacity to the park.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, because Roger Rabbit always has a long line.
Yep.
And that ride is always...
It's not a bad queue to be stuck in, but...
True.
It is usually long.
Cute attraction. I like it.
Yeah, it was all right.
It's a lot of fun.
It was all right.
It's the only one.
There were things you could ride.
Or is it in Tokyo? It might be in Tokyo.
Is Roger Rabbit in Tokyo?
I don't know. They have Toontown, though.
Okay.
Oh.
I don't know.
Anyways.
Yes.
Do we want to move on?
Are we clear of the... I'm trying to think what else. So 30th celebration. Really... I thought maybe there would be some celebrities there, being that it's Hollywood Studios. There were. So that was a little bit of a disappointment.
You were there. You're a celebrity.
Yeah. They were expecting you to be the celebrity.
Uh-oh.
Wait, stand by.
Stand by one.
He's back.
Hold on. There we go.
Yay!
Oh, cool.
There you go. I got my
Card.
card.
That framed.
I know.
What did they do? Oh, that was for your little lady that was like looking for you, right?
Yes, that was. She was. Well, I mean, I guess in the beginning, yeah, Sarah had that out.
That's cool. So she was like your personal go-to person.
Yeah. So that was another thing. Unlike other Disney events that I've been to, where occasionally maybe they'll ask you if you want to have somebody working with you, that it was not an option. It was, this is the person that's going to be working with you. So yeah, we were escorted around and no, she was great. I mean, tried to help out as she could and stuff like that. And I mean, you know, so it was different, kind of a different experience for me.
So there were 2 announcements that came out of the 30th press event, I guess.
Right.
They unveiled a new look for the iconic arch that will be staying as part of the makeover of Hollywood Studios. However, it's going to look pretty drastically different. They unveiled the new logo for the park, which contains it's Woody, BB-8, and Mickey Mouse sticking out of the O's.
Very corporate.
In Hollywood.
I think is what most people have said about it.
Cinema Gene.
Personally, not a fan.
Cinema Gene.
Yeah. They did not announce that, though, much to the chagrin of, I'm sure, some bloggers.
Or, you know, Disney's Hollywood Adventure or whatever. There were some other rumored names that were out there.
But I think in one of, maybe not the Arch logo, but some other logo, the word studios is like 1/10 the size of Disney Hollywood. Right? So
and
it really seems like they're just going to drop studios and it'll be Disney's Hollywood theme park.
Now,
I still go with Florida Adventure.
Cinema Gene.
Yeah,
the other
California
thing
Adventure should be Florida Adventure.
Somebody was saying that the O's of Hollywood Studios, so the O's in Hollywood, how they currently have like BB-8 and Mickey and whatever, you can switch those out easily, right? So they can always be updating that.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit bland, but okay.
Yeah, so you can see the concept art on the board. It's linked from our front page. I'm just glad they're keeping it, though, because actually if you ever have the time and you're not racing to Star Wars, those arches are really detailed. They've actually got some cool sculptures in it that go back to kind of the original message of the park, the Hollywood that never was and always will be. So it's kind of cool to look at some of those details that are in there.
Yep.
Oh, thanks, Chris. Yep, I thought it was also at Tokyo.
Yeah, Chris Pace commenting Roger Rabbit is actually in Tokyo as well. So there you go.
And just mentioning about the studios when we were there recently, with the new bus station, that really is a hike from the gate to the thing. I mean, they're nice big stations and everything, and
the fans were off.
Yes, and it was rather warm that day. But
they have all these fans, none of them were on.
It was a nice walk. You walk past the gondola station and get to these nice big bus stations.
They've just installed the lettering above the gondola station, Skyliner, up there. Neat. Like Art Deco kind of writing.
Which we can talk about the gondolas in a minute, but just the other announcement they made at the 30th, they announced a new restaurant for Toy Story Land. We talked about kind of a lack of sit-down restaurants. This will
that's right. I forgot about that.
Table service restaurant. It'll be a barbecue. Is it Woody's Barbecue? Something like that.
Something like that.
Let's see, what is the name? It's not Pizza Planet. No one knows where it's going. I think it looks like they're building it in the remains of the Toy Story Mania queue because they've got the same upside down board games on the ceiling, but I don't know how big that space is, how much they haven't used up. It's Roundup Rodeo Barbecue. Right. And it's going to be all made out of cardboard, is what they say. But I'm guessing that's a theme and not
one good Florida ring and it's all gone.
Actual construction. Sorry, son, don't throw that barbecue sauce on the table. We'll have to throw it out again.
Can't wipe the tables. I am excited because John is sending me Intercot In a few weeks, woo, I get to go to the Toy Story 4 premiere at the park, and then there's going to be a little reception in Toy Story Land afterward.
Yes.
And then the next day, there's
What?
a whole panel of all the cast
Yeah.
from Toy Story.
Wow.
So, unfortunately, we didn't get any one-on-one interviews, but you will actually be in a group press conference, which will have Tom Hanks, Tim Allen, Christina Hendricks, Tony, Keanu Reeves. Yeah, just watched John Wick last night.
Yes,
I would just be asking him all. Well, if you got questions, asking him all Bill and Ted stuff.
What is it, Tony?
That's
is
all I would
it Tony Hale? Who is that? Is that his name? Who's from Arrested Development?
Yes,
and,
Tony Hale.
the Forky guy. Yeah.
Yeah, he's quirky. Yeah, he was Buster. That's right.
And Keanu Reeves plays Duke Kaboom, the Canadian Daredevil.
Oh, really?
He plays like an evil.
There's a teaser trailer for that. Yeah.
Yes, it's so funny. He plays a Canadian Daredevil. It's like, who is the greatest Canadian Daredevil? And the little toy like is on a track. It's like a little motorcycle man, and it like barely jumps and kind of falls.
Oh no! So it's kind of like Evil Knievel.
Yeah.
You know, where we'd have the thing where you pull it back and it would go. Oh my gosh, that'd be funny. So that, and also I think the directors.
And the producers.
like that. Yeah, producer directors. Yeah. So you think of some good questions. And
Somebody help me out there, please. Send me your questions.
take lots of video and
we're gonna do lots of video. You guys will come along for the ride. I'm gonna bring my husband, Mike, and our kids, and we'll see what we can get. So it's gonna be good.
And the day before that, Cindy Giacomo from the site, I believe, is going to the Villains event, which is going on there too. With the Villains After Dark, I think it's called, or something.
Yes.
Like
So they announced 4 kind of new events for this summer.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, I'm pull up there. So one is it's actually the Disney After Hours that they've been having at Magic Kingdom, Animal Kingdom, and the studios.
Yeah.
I actually did the studios one here in April. But the what they're doing in, I think it's August at Magic Kingdom, the After Dark that they had announced, actually starting in May, running through. When is it running through?
I think it's through August, isn't it? Isn't it like June through August or something like that? I remember reading.
Yeah, that's what I think it is. Yeah. So they announced new dates in May for Magic Kingdom, but then through August, it's going to be the villain themed. So we will have Cindy there.
Yeah. Well, are they going to have the regular after hours and then the Disney Villains after hours also, or is it just?
Well, that's what they have kind of confusingly written here in this article. So it looks like they added more dates for the regular after hours through the end of May, and then the dates after that will be for the Villains event.
Oh, okay. Because the after hours, we've done that a couple times, and it's fun. There's nobody there. It's very empty.
Right. Yeah. So
didn't they raise the price dramatically because of
like $99 or something like that? Or?
Oh no, it's like 120.
Yeah, it's like 129.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
really jacked the price up.
But actually, my brother and I did that when we were down there for the Run Disney event in April, and we did the studios one, and because he was leaving, I think Sunday, so it was like our only way to get on Slinky Dog, basically, that trip. There were no fast passes, and neither one of us were going to wait 2 hours. So
no.
So we did that. We were able to do that a couple times. Obviously, got some ice cream and popcorn, and did Tower of Terror back to back to back to back. It was kind of cool. I didn't realize they would do this, but they sort of turned off the pre-shows on Tower of Terror and Rock and Roller Coaster. So Tower of Terror, you just walk through the library.
Wow.
Rock and Roller Coaster, you just walk through the studio area. You don't really think about how much of a crowd holder that really is until they don't have that many people on the ride, and then you just walk on. But yeah, every ride was a walk on. Studios maybe not the most bang for your buck at the moment, based on the number of attractions, but it worked out. he got to go on Slinky Dog at night, which was I think the better of the two because I did it during the day later on the trip with Justin and Don and Selena from the site.
Yeah, we did the early morning paid admission to Toy Story Land. Yeah, that was good. Continue. We'll talk about that later.
I like at least the breakfast option I got. They had chicken and waffles.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty good.
Yummy.
And we had 2 breakfasts.
Yes, we did.
2.
Yeah.
2.
Wow.
Yeah, they as we were leaving, they said, come on back before the time ends. So they're never very clear on that, but it's just you just walk up and they'll give you a sort of an a la carte sort of breakfast.
So it was lunch.
No, because you can because you can go in because we got there so early. You were able to go get breakfast before the event actually started.
I got you.
And then, as we were leaving, they're like, "Oh, as soon as you're done, you can come back and have more." So we went and played, because it was open till 10, and the event was only on until 8:45, and then the mass of people came in, and then you can go back and eat till 10. So we went back in a little more.
That's bang for your buck, because
solid.
And I had some bad orange juice.
Yeah, that was the only downside of the trip.
Yeah, kind of. I don't know if it was just everything after, because the day before was the half marathon. So, and then that morning we ate and I had some orange juice, and I'm the only one who had the orange juice, and it did something to me, and I had to call it. I had to go back to the room for about 2 hours because
it was like sitting out in the sun and like flies were flying around it, but I mean it probably was probably okay.
I just poured into another jug.
Yeah,
no, it was not, but I don't know. It was maybe that was just coincidence. Who knows? But
because I'm the only one who had the orange juice, and I'm the only one that had that reaction. So I don't know what it was, but that was a good time.
So. But I guess we're on the topic of that trip. So
please.
I sort of did my first 5K event.
Sort of. Wait a minute.
5K-ish event.
So very
sort
wet
of
5K-ish. So first Run Disney event. I guess I underestimated the sheer event that it is, the amount of manpower and planning and the way they transformed a parking lot into the kickoff for the event. So that was all very impressive to me. There's a lot of coordination that goes on to this. I mean, I knew it was a big event, but I'm used to like the hard ticket parties as being like a big event sort of thing. So
this is
that's a whole nother level. So all very impressive. Met up with all Maynard Cott pals, and you have to get there about an hour before I think the race.
No! You have to be there about 2 hours.
How long did we get there? Was it 2 hours? Okay.
The race
2 hours before.
5:30.
I didn't remember.
We got there about 4. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And time for the race comes and goes. And people are going, okay, well they're having some technical difficulty or something, and it's about 10-15 minutes past the race start, and the guy comes up again and makes some comment about we're having some electrical issues there. There's an electric storm in the area, so we're postponing the race.
Right.
So first we thought it was like almost like some joke or something, because it's like it's morning, it's dark out, but there's nothing going on. So as soon as he says that, we see them lightning off in the distance, and we're like, okay.
Right. Yeah, they monitor the weather pretty.
So they do an evac. So that was interesting. So I got a Run Disney evac. I think a lot of the spectators they put on buses. I think that's where they sent you guys.
Yeah, I can speak for our end. We left them, or they left us at about 5 to go to the corrals. I was with Selena because that morning we had a bunch of people running. So we walked over to, they have a Joffrey's coffee truck. So we're getting our coffee. And cast member comes over and goes, "Ladies and gentlemen, we need you to evacuate the area immediately. We have a severe storm coming through." We're like, okay, where do we go? And they're like, everyone here goes to the buses. Now, if you've done a Run Disney event, you know how the runners go one way and the buses are on the other side, on the side of Epcot's parking lot. So we go over there, we get on the buses, and that's it. They don't give us any information until, 7 something, I guess.
Yeah, that was the only. I mean, it was handled all very well as far as the evacuation went. My crowd got evacuated into interventions, so we were, I mean, inside and safe and everything. The pretty strong storm did roll through.
It was like a monsoon.
But there was like no communication for like 45 minutes as far as what was really going on. So. Eventually, though, they did actually get everyone back together, and no one really kind of knew what was happening, but they were funneling us back towards the race. They were saying it was going to happen, but with some modifications. So modification number 1, no corrals, everyone at once.
Yep.
So that was a little unfortunate, and it was raining. So everyone once in the rain, and they shortened the course to 2.65 miles. So not quite the full 5K, but they wanted to get everyone through before park opening. They weren't going to delay park opening, evidently. But did it.
Yeah.
So and going back in the fall already, I'm doing the book for the 5K in the fall because I want to actually do one. So
good
for real.
Yes, for real. For realsies this time.
Yep, a bunch of us are going back for Wine and Dine again this year. So I'm signed up for the 5, the 10, and the half. And John, by the way, I wanted to bring something up to you.
Yeah, what?
Now, I was listening back to one of the podcasts, previous ones, and you mentioned something about thinking about doing a marathon. How about this? You and me, January 2020. Full.
Oh, good Lord.
Full marathon. Way to put him on the spot.
I know. I figured I'd do it this way. It's fun. If you say no, it's okay, because I still don't know 100% if I'm going to be able to do it with my knee issues and everything. So
okay, so
he promises he'll consider it.
That would mean I would actually have to train.
Yes,
because I don't train for anything. Like I don't train for my training for my half marathons usually is running like a 5K, 3 to 5K the week before, like
right.
3 or 4 times a week in the couple weeks before. That's my training.
Right. Because I was looking up the Run Disney running training plans and just happened to look at the marathon weekend one. And it actually, there's 2 plans. There's one just starting plan, and then there's one that actually continues from Wine and Dine weekend. So like the Wine and Dine is, the training, and then it continues on from then. So
you know what? I mean, I've said I've always wanted to do one. The biggest thing for me is just I worry about my legs completely giving out, and that's where I guess you got to really do the training.
Right. Well, that's why I said I'd figure I'd throw it out there now, and
All right, can I get back to you by the next podcast?
No, you can get back to me whenever. I just threw it out there.
I have to clear the dates with my lovely wife as well.
Right.
When is it?
January,
like second week of January.
I don't know the exact dates.
Hey, when's the sign up for that?
It's open now.
Really?
Yeah, the marathon usually doesn't sell out.
Right.
I don't probably plan on signing up until probably after Wine and Dine just to see how I get through with that. But if you wanted to submit proof of time is due October something or other.
Yeah,
January 8th to 12th.
And proof of time being a half marathon.
Anything from a 10-mile up. 10 mile.
Yeah, I've run a qualifying race here on Hilton Head. So
yeah, January 8th to 12th. So I guess the full marathon would be January 12th. 233 days away.
All right.
So
if your legs give out, they'll just pick you up in the golf cart. You'll still get your medal.
No, but that's yes, you do.
There's no excuse, John. Really?
No, well, just so you understand. Okay, no, I got you there. I usually do fine, but in my history of running half marathons, twice I've had my legs completely go out at the halfway mark on a marathon, which I literally started getting leg spasms, like to the point where my muscles were locking up. So, and no matter what I tried, bananas, water, anything, it just, and I'm very good about hydrating before the race. Although, you know what, I've for this last marathon, I hydrated well the day before, really well. Like I made sure I drank everything I was supposed to drink going in. So I didn't have any issues there, and I actually felt pretty good through the whole race. So yeah, Justin, I mean, I think we would be a good pair, honestly, for doing this, because we would, pace wise, we would probably be right about the same.
Yeah, about that. So
yeah, I mean, especially for a marathon. I mean, I would not be. Would be taking it at a much slower pace.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, like I said, it was just I was listening to a previous podcast, and I've been throwing the idea around in my head.
Right.
He's good. He's good.
It's good, Mr. Fun.
And just I heard you mention it, and I've been throwing it back and forth in my head. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to throw it out to him live on air in front of all of you.
Right. No, I am. Let's just put it this way. I'm interested.
Okay. We will talk.
Yes.
So you will then. Yes.
Peer pressure.
So
yes, and I also still owe you a Disney gift card.
Yes, for that monorail bet. Yes, I haven't been on.
No new monorails
because there has not been a new monorail.
No,
but there are new gondolas.
Yeah,
I like the segue, Jason. High five.
Yeah. But just to finish up that real quick, a bunch of us again will be down for Wine and Dine in October 31st to November 4th-ish. I think it's the dates. So come on down, join us. Let us know if you're coming.
I'm not running this time, so I'll just be there hanging out.
Okay, cool.
Come hang out with me.
I believe Dawn is running the 10K. Jason's running the 5, and I'm doing all 3. So
good for you. That's awesome.
Well, I did my first half marathon for Wine and Dine last year. Star Wars, I did the 10K and the half, and then this time I'll do all 3 races, and then that'll maybe lead to a full.
So
it's like, well, you're going to do 22 point something. I have this the thing that I made on 19.6,
22.7.
Something like that. I think
it's 19.6 and 3.1, right? Yeah, 22.7. If my math is there, which my math is terrible.
Don't ask me. I don't know math.
Okay, so back to gondolas.
It was 22.6, but anyway, you're probably right. Go ahead.
So they recently unveiled them. So they gave. I don't think this was part of any of your media events, John, but they did do a grand reveal to the local Florida press.
Which sometimes we are, sometimes we aren't. It all depends. Yeah.
But so there's video of that up on the site. But basically, the gondolas have 2 benches on either side. They are ventilated only, as I think we've talked about multiple times.
Yep.
The benches do fold up. So essentially, they are the same model that was at IAAPA this past year.
Right.
That company is now selling these gondolas. Not Disney branded ones, but that basic design is being sold. So you could start seeing it popping up other places as well. But it was interesting that they were at IAAPA, because I think prior to this, they were mainly just a sort of like city transportation or mountain transportation kind of market. So they are expanding into the travel and leisure market. So you can check those out. It was gondola number 1 is what they revealed, 001. So that does give you an idea of maybe how many total gondolas there are. I guess they can be up to 999, which I hope is a haunted mansion gondola, because there is there is a hitchhiking ghost one. So that would be
I've seen that.
Oh, that's I didn't see that.
And so you said the 2 benches they'll fold up. So if you have somebody in like a wheelchair or something.
The one they had at IAAPA, they showed the one side folding up. I would assume they both fold up, but maybe it's just the one side. So
I wonder if they'll let you stand. Or you have to be seated in there.
I don't know. They haven't been clear on that. When they keep giving the eight person capacity, I think there's some people saying, well, maybe someone standing, 6 seated and 2 standing or something. But we'll have to probably wait a few more months to find out that.
Well, you're not going to be belted in, so I mean, how are they going to prevent you from standing?
If it's 8, wouldn't you be able to just have 4 on each side, or is the benches?
So it's really hard to tell how wide the bench is. They keep the video and the pictures both are taken with one of those like fishbowl lenses,
wide angle.
The wide angle lens. I don't know why.
Okay, well, thinking about a
so it's a little hard to
monorail
tell.
bench. A monorail, it's me, my husband. I mean, we're chunky, but we're not huge. So me, my husband, and 2 preteen kids. 4 people, you might squish like another little kid on the monorail.
I'm going to say like 75% shorter than that.
So,
Or
yeah,
sorry,
like,
75% of that, 25% shorter.
right. So the gondolas aren't as wide as a monorail.
No,
so
I don't.
probably 4 across.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll
know soon enough.
Yeah. When did they officially open?
Fall 2019. But they are expecting a soft open probably sometime in August is what cast members are being led to believe. Just based on kind of the construction progress.
John Hoyt on our Instagram and Facebook page just posted a nice picture of like how the gondolas turn a corner. They have a weird little turning
Just in case
corner.
you were wondering. Yep.
It's over by the boardwalk actually, because we saw them building that this last trip. So, Yep. So we'll see how that goes. Speaking.
No, go ahead. I was just going to
say
the new Magic Bands, but you go ahead.
Oh, I was going to keep us on construction for a minute.
All right. Do that.
So
keep my hard hat on.
A place that is, I think, fairly near and dear to Intercotty's hearts, especially since we had an ICOT 20 event there at Meisner's Lounge in the Grand Floridian.
Oh, yeah.
Is no more. It has closed.
Bye. So long.
So it and the adjacent shop have currently been leveled to put in a Beauty and the Beast inspired but not themed lounge and bar.
Yeah, I'm not real clear on that whole thing, but yeah.
Yeah, so it is inspired from the live action movie, not the animated classic. It'll have 3 areas, I believe. A signature bar with a golden chandelier above it that looks like Belle's flowing ball gown. A formal library room. And then the garden room, which will, I guess, supposed to be like the Enchanted Forest. And there will also be an outdoor patio, which I don't think there was an outdoor patio to Meisner's, was there?
No.
Yeah. Ian and I sat out there.
What? That wasn't right there, was it?
Yeah, it was like right around the corner. Maybe it's not considered part of Meisner's.
Yeah, well, maybe
I think that's where I was confused. Like, I'm trying to remember. I thought it was down the hallway a little bit.
It might be because they're taking out the shop next to it, so they might be able to connect a contiguous area.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah. So it'll be a lot of that floor will now be this lounge and bar.
You know what? I mean, that's not bad because when we were in there, I'm a
little confused about the French provincial theming in the Grand Floridian, which up until now they've kind of always had more of a British theme too.
Well, and maybe that's why it's not
and Alice in Wonderland.
Maybe it's just inspired.
Maybe, but they do say French furnishings will be inspired by Belle. So,
never mind.
Is the lounge closed already, or it's going to be closed?
It is already closed.
I never got there. When we did our ICOT 20. I bailed out at the.
Where you didn't do the monorail?
I did half of it. I did up until Trader Sam's.
Ian doing chin-ups.
Where was he doing? Oh, in the monorail?
Yeah.
Embarrassing.
But, so that's...
We might as well just stop mentioning Ian. No one even knows who he is.
Who?
He hasn't been on in like 2 years or something. He was on our first video podcast, and that was about it.
So we don't want to see Ian anyway.
He had so many technical difficulties, he got fed up.
It was his idea to do this, by the way.
Yeah. So speaking of future technical difficulties, they're releasing new Magic Bands.
Yeah, new Magic Bands.
They should be fine. They should work just as poorly as the current ones do.
Yeah, the same.
So, Justin and Don had a bunch of issues actually in April.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
We brought
Work.
I think we had 6 magic bands between us, and 1 worked out of the 6.
Were they all
at our
new,
hotel.
or were they what?
No.
2
one-
of them were, though, weren't they?
Oh, right, 2. Sorry, one for each of us worked. Yeah, we got magic bands. We bought new magic bands, the ones you can buy. And plus, also, we had our AP ones. Then we had one specifically for this trip with the reservation. And yeah, none of them worked except for,
Really?
I don't even remember which one. I think it might have been the AP one actually worked. And it was the old AP one, not the new AP one. Yeah, so maybe we had more than 6. Maybe we had 8 magic bands. I don't remember. But yeah, they wouldn't work on the doors, so we had to go to the front desk. And the phone did work, though. The unlock door.
I gotta try that.
So
but the magic
I've
bands
never
were not.
personally had an issue, but I know they had some stuff that trip. But you mentioned buying the special magic bands. Well, starting allegedly this past week, although I didn't see a confirmation, you can now upgrade to a premium magic band for, I think, a discounted rate. I think it's about $10 instead of 20 something.
It says these new magic band upgrade options will be available for pre-arrival purchase at a special price that reflects a $14.99 discount off the regular retail cost through the My Disney Experience website.
Let's say they're like $25.99.
So that really kind of makes sense. So I mean, you're basically, they have a cost of doing business on the existing magic bands, so they're essentially just giving you probably a little bit of their cost back and letting you buy something that you'd rather have.
Oh, Steve says it's not available yet as far as the upgrade. But still, the announcement said soon.
These are mine.
Oh my goodness! Holy shit!
Now, granted, this is also my family's.
Wait, I'll put that up again. I'm going to put you up solo so people can see that. Holy shit!
I think you should just go there and demand they all work.
We still have, and we still use the skinny original ones.
Ooh, yeah. The batteries will die in them eventually.
Eventually, yeah. And my daughter, because she's little, so you can
rip off the
outside.
edge.
So we have a bunch of the small ones.
I honestly, you see how those are? I wish they all were that thick instead of being as wide as they are. I like the
and then you can get the ones where you get the sticker that goes over it.
Yeah, right.
I did that this trip. They're kind of some neat ones you can get.
I'll show you my favorite
not
one.
Official Disney though, but
this is my favorite.
Which is the favorite? Hold on. What's that one?
Oh, nice. I like that one.
We should clarify you can only do the upgrade if you buy a vacation package or are an annual pass holder. So if you do a room only reservation or staying off site, you will not have that option.
And what magic bands was it? The whole library that they have of magic bands?
It's not the whole library. I think they said it was 30 of them. So I think it's most. I don't think there's.
If you go to
30 of them.
Okay.
There's a website called intercot.com.
Never heard of it.
Where is that?
Intercot.com.
INTERCOT.
There's a thing right on
Epcot, only internet.
Yeah.
Internet community.
And there's a video you can watch with what the magic bands are.
Is that on the discussion boards?
It is, but it's right on the main page too.
Is it on the homepage?
It sure is.
More news than you can throw a stick at right there on that homepage.
Mm-hmm.
It depends on how large the stick is, but yes.
Oh, with your bad knee, you shouldn't throw anything.
Pretty big stick. Of course, if you read all that, then I'm not sure you need to listen to the podcast, but
that's true.
So anyway, we started to touch on some of the summer events that are happening. So there's actually quite a few things that have been announced we should probably touch on, as Memorial Day is next weekend, the unofficial start of summer.
Like you can't smoke?
Well, there's that has happened.
Okay.
So the summer this year at Disney got kicked off with a whole bunch of policy changes. So most talked about one, these all happened May 1st, was now the Walt Disney World Resort essentially is smoke-free. There will still be some designated smoking areas, but the parks themselves are completely smoke-free.
Probably at the resorts, right?
Yes, at the resorts and outside of the park gates. And the Wide World of Sports complex is also smoke-free. So it's a pretty big change to what they've had policy-wise otherwise. So we'll see how that plays out. Haven't really heard of, causing too many issues or people not following it. So we'll see how that pans out. They also have new restrictions on strollers. I think they have now officially banned those like wagon-looking strollers.
Thank
There are
you.
certain sizes they have to fit. They have also banned dry ice in the parks. That was kind of a head scratcher.
Were a lot of people bringing that?
Bringing in dry ice or loose ice, for that matter.
Would bring in bags of ice.
Yes.
I wouldn't even know where to buy dry ice if somebody needed me to get some. I don't know.
I think maybe some medications come with like dry ice packs, maybe, but I don't really know. I think that's like how they mail them, though. So I don't know why you would continue to take that. I mean, at some point, unless you're keeping it extremely cold, it's going to sublimate. But anyways, yeah, you should not be
That was a big word.
dry ice much. Sublimate, yes.
What does sublimate mean?
It's a phase change from solid to gas.
Thank you, Jason. I
you're
knew that.
welcome.
I just figured
The
everybody
more
else.
you know. Can you get like
With
a little rainbow star effect over my head right now?
With the stroller thing, though, you have to check the size of your stroller. I'm going to show you a picture now. This, I think, is from Disneyland, but it still applies with the size.
Yes, it's all U.S. parks. We should clarify that.
There is a picture here that they. Oops,
Your camera dimmed. Yes.
There you go. They have a thing on the ground where you can pull up your stroller and see if it will park on that square.
Well, they put that in the airports too for bags, and you see people.
Same idea. You're right.
You see people shove things into their bags.
My kids are too big for strollers now, but I do remember we would rent, not through Disney, but like through Kingdom Strollers or something, a double wide sort of jogging stroller, and they were fairly wide, and I don't think it would fit in that little box. So I don't know. Yeah, people need to check their stroller size before they get there.
What were those cart things that people were wheeling about? What are those things called? The cart, basically, that as a stroller. But those were like ridiculously huge. And wasn't it you couldn't pull it or you? Yeah.
Yeah, you can't bring anything that you would pull behind you. So that, like wagons have been banned for a long time, but that you actually pushed in front of you.
It kind of looked like you were pushing a shopping cart.
I believe those now are banned because I think they're too long.
Yes. I mean, those things were huge. And you get like people walking with like 3 of them. It's like, okay, I can't walk around these people.
Yeah.
Just more.
So those changes are in effect for the summer, but there's other stuff going on this summer too, not just that. So we did talk about the Villains event, which I did find the dates for. It was in the other link on the homepage. I clicked on the wrong one. That is happening June 6th to August 8th. So Justin was right with those dates. The other thing is happening is Harambe at Night event at the Animal Kingdom. This is a hard ticket event at the Animal Kingdom. So another new hard ticket event, but essentially it is a sort of a progressive dinner. Essentially, I guess I would describe it as. There's a welcome reception at the Wildlife Express train station, and then you go to Rafiki's Planet. Oh, I said that's where you can go to Rafiki's Planet Watch, but then you go to Harambe Market for the actual event itself. So that's kind of a dining event. You go through that. I think there's various entertainment. It starts July 24th. And you do, of course, need, do you need separate admission?
Probably.
Yes, you do. So,
when do you not?
Probably.
Yeah, so it's $125 plus tax for adults, $99 for children, and separate park admission is required.
Wow.
So that's kind of a pricey dinner there, but we got some pictures of the food and the desserts up on the board, so if that looks like your thing, you can start doing that this summer. Reservations are currently open.
Very nice.
They've also added an event. I think you did see this, John, in the mini courtyard area, kind of. That's not kind of like a small cars area at Hollywood Studios. Something called Ready, Set, Party, I think.
Oh, yeah.
So they kind of took the car DJ, I think that's over at Cars Land in California, and they brought him over to the studios. His name is DJ.
Clever.
That's right up there with Bird from the Autopia.
Wow.
So that is happening this summer.
What's your name, Mr. DJ? DJ.
Yeah.
What?
DJ the DJ.
The DJ, yeah.
What? Huh? Okay.
His former
Who's on
job was
first?
at the Department of Redundancy Department. But now he's here.
Waka waka.
Waka waka. So when summer ends, something else will be ending though this year. That will be Illuminations, Reflections of Earth. So they've kind of been a little coy with an exact date, I think up till now, but they have officially now announced September 30th, 2019 will be the last show. But debuting October 1st will then be the limited engagement of Epcot Forever. Hopefully it'll be better than Batman Forever, but we'll wait.
We can only hope.
Nice pull, Jason.
Well, we'll get to see that hopefully. Well, limited. How limited?
About a year run.
Okay, so let's say, will we get to see it then in November?
Yes, we will see that in November. At least have the opportunity to, because they still have not announced much at all about the permanent show. They say Epcot Forever will continue into 2020. It's rumored to run about a year, but you never can tell if they may want to release it for something like summer. But
exactly.
Then again, Rivers of Light also took like a year and a half past its opening date.
Not together.
No. I'm on an oversized chair. No, not a bed.
Debbie asked if Carolyn and Justin are.
I have a son who's taken over the main floor. He's got friends over, and it's too noisy.
It's a pajama party. That's the.
And we're wearing our
Thrones
Intercot pajama shirts.
And I'm putting on all.
Oh my God. What is wrong with you?
We don't have time for that.
Yeah, I was about to say that's a long list.
Wow.
So that's not it for this summer.
Okay.
Not it.
No.
There's also some summer discounts and
more.
summer free dining, but you can hop on the boards or talk to Magical Journeys to get all the details for that.
Yeah.
But I mentioned Rivers of Light. It's changing in the summer. So starting
To a good show.
They're making it better.
starting Memorial Day weekend. What's always better.
Right.
2019. So next weekend, Rivers of Light will be replaced or plussed into Rivers of Light. We Are One.
Changing the music.
Cricket.
Who knows? Stunning imagery, familiar characters from Disney nature films will now be included, as long as a colorful tapestry of classic moments from Disney animation.
Was that included? I honestly have never seen the show. So
I saw it for the first time in April. So saw that with Selena and Nick. The three of us saw it. So I liked it. It's more like Illuminations. It's a little bit more impressionistic. There's not a clear, narrative you're really following. I think if you really kind of pay attention to kind of the main focal points there is, but that's kind of my only critique of it. It was a little hard to tell where to look sometimes. But again, I think some people maybe like that because they see something different every time. But my kind of main I guess philosophy is if it's a show, there really should be a kind of a focal point where you're supposed to be looking at, unless it's like something fully immersive around you, where this really wasn't. It was still all out in front of you. It wasn't like they do at Disneyland with the projections down Main Street and some of the other stuff. Like, I get that you're in the middle of the show. Where with that, where you're still looking out at a stage, but sometimes there's something over here, sometimes there's something over here. There's little float things going out. So it was, but I still liked it though.
Yep.
That's just my critique. I'm an engineer at heart, so I can get quite critical unless I watch myself. But
like I said, I enjoyed the concept of it, but I thought it could have been more. Like,
well, now I have Disney characters in it, so
I just like the water screens, seeing World of Color
characters.
What they did with World of Color with the water screens, I thought they could have been a lot more with that. The fire at the end, you're like, all right, fire, and it's just like a little torch. So
yeah,
I just thought it could have been more and better, but
that didn't work for us. That was actually the other thing. The fire finale, I was aware of it because I'd kind of seen some videos. It didn't even happen. So
yeah, so I don't know. But
yes, as Chris says, it'll now be like every other show.
I are with Chris. I love my wife's. I are with Chris.
She grammar good.
We need more characters.
Yes, more characters.
More characters.
Oh God,
more magic bands.
It looks like a cast on your arm.
I know.
It's gotta work.
It looks like you've got
it up against the thing.
Looks like you've got some.
Well, will you please go down to guest services when we're there in November like that and be like,
please don't.
Am I doing this right? Why isn't my door opening?
So I am going to mention. Let's see. My brick is not long for this world, or it may be gone already. Right?
I think a lot of them are gone already.
Yeah.
And
we saw you. We saw the picture online of you went and you took it out. We saw that.
That was. I don't know who said that, but yeah, I don't think I'm going to get the replica.
Oh,
I think I'm.
Why are they doing that, Till? Anyone remember?
I don't know. If
it's selling good, they'll probably keep
so
going.
I saw them in April, so they are. Someone was trying to mention on the podcast before, but I think it was Carolyn, but I didn't quite get it. Yeah, they really are not the same thing.
No, it's a tile.
They're kind of like a coaster. Brick. Yeah, it's like a tile. I guess I didn't quite get that from the pictures because they didn't really show a.
It's not really a brick.
Landscape view of it. So they just showed the aerial views of it. So yeah, it's like a plate basically, but it's still something. It is commemorative of it if you had one. Sure, some people will like that.
I'll buy one.
Hey, Jason, maybe you know this. So Madison asked, do y'all know what's going on with the Canada Pavilion Circle Vision movie? Is it changing? I thought I heard somewhere that it was going to be changing.
They announced that. Yeah, they're gonna update it. Marty Short, the King of Canada, I think has stepped down.
Yeah,
he abdicated, so they're gonna have to find a new host for the show.
Huh.
Yeah, they announced. Really, it's all three of the movies are changing. So China is definitely going over to something for live action Mulan. France fairly soon is going to run 2 shows out of the same theater. It'll run Impressions and a Beauty and the Beast live action sing along.
No.
Yeah. So I don't know if that's like if they're going to alternate or they're going to like in the morning go see this and in the evening go see this. But that'll be interesting because I don't know if they've ever really tried that before. You could have some confused guests if they kind of miss the last show.
And then they end up in the sing along.
I
was going to see classical music.
Well, out in Disneyland at that little Royal Theater, how they they do Beauty and the Beast in the morning and then Tangled in the afternoon, or vice versa.
I think that expectation is set pretty well with guests. So it opened that way, and that was really funny out there. They do a good job with that. But
they do.
I'm not sure if you're expecting Impressions de France and you see Beauty and the Beast sing along instead, what your thoughts would be. But anyways, then in Canada they're gonna update the film there too. But I don't think they've announced too many details on it. They'll probably have like Mounties in it or something. I don't know.
I think in my entire life,
some back bacon
once in a parade.
Six pack of 2-4s.
They just like roamed the streets up there.
No, they don't.
With their hockey sticks.
Some crullers.
Yeah, and our back bacon.
I'm never going to be allowed in Canada.
Tim Hortons.
Mostly because of this show.
Have some Timbits.
I thought every other building in Canada was a Tim Hortons.
Pretty much.
It pretty much is. That I'll give you. It's like there's one on every block.
I enjoyed being in Ohio recently and seeing all the Tim Hortons.
Timmy's?
Yeah, I forgot how prevalent they were in the Dayton area.
They're around.
Yeah, we're creeping into the state.
Yep. Slowly creeping.
It's an invasion.
Watch out. This is how
That would be a Canadian invasion. Very slow and polite. Just slowly.
We're coming in. Move over, you.
Please. Sorry.
Pardon me. Oh, don't mind me. You know what? I'll take a step back now.
Oh, just okay. That's too much. It's all right. Do you know I do find myself like if somebody runs into me, I will say sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Because then for being there.
I was in the way.
Well,
sorry.
I do that too, though. To be honest with you, I'm too polite. I usually. So.
Yeah.
Well, I guess the New Yorker in me comes out, and it's a whole different story.
Well, Justin, you know what?
That's a little bit different.
I was going to say, unless I'm on an airplane and somebody hits me with a backpack as they're walking by, or doesn't know the proper etiquette to actually not pull your bag down the aisle, you carry it down the aisle, and they hit me.
I kick it.
Then I start getting irritated. Otherwise, I'm very polite.
I've gotten. I don't know if it's just me, but I've noticed lately when we fly, everyone, the etiquette of row 1 goes out, then row 2, and follow it along. And it's just now row 31 is running up to be the first one off the plane. It's like, where are you going?
I'm gonna do a plug. I usually don't do plugs.
Where did the etiquette
Instagram,
go?
if you get a chance, follow Passenger
Shaming. Yeah, I saw that's an awesome account. Oh that's an amazing account. Yes.
Where it's like your bare feet is on the armrest.
Yeah.
I think we've all been there where you've had or somebody's clipping their toenails on the plane.
Since I've been following that account, when we get on the plane now, the first thing we do is Clorox wipes, wipe everything down. The tray table, the TV, the armrest, everything gets a wipe down now.
It might freak you out a little bit. Maybe if you're OCD, you don't.
Yeah, and I have a little OCD.
Yeah, I'm not looking.
Maybe a little more than a little OCD, but yeah, it's just it's horrendous. But no etiquette. People just flying from the back of the plane to get off.
I like the airports now have to have corrals for the different zones. To try to prevent some of that. It's like it's come to this now.
That's another thing that people just stand there.
You walk up like an hour before the flight and there are people already like lined up in the corral.
Yeah, I can't do it anymore. Air travel has become a nightmare.
I was flying back from Las Vegas a few weeks ago, and I had the middle seat. I was sitting by myself, sitting in the middle seat. There was a wife on the left of me at the window, and her husband was on the aisle seat. And I'm like, do you guys want to sit together? She's like, no, we don't like it.
No.
I'm like, okay, that's fine. I get it. So I'm sitting in between the husband and the wife. Partway through the flight, the husband grabs a plastic bag, and he
yummy.
No.
And so I'm like, oh my god. And I'm looking at the wife, and she is reaching over me to assist her husband. I'm like, oh my god.
I thought maybe a chain reaction was going to start
coming my way.
Well, sometimes one can set it off. There could be a chain reaction going.
A barfarama?
Yeah, well, you start to hear it,
and mouth traps.
It was right.
Yeah.
It was wow. Anyway, that was bad.
What happens in Vegas doesn't stay in the airport.
No, it was following me home.
Well, I guess planes are maybe not the best mode of transportation anymore, but you know what are?
Oh, what, Jason? Tell us.
What?
Light cycles.
Oh.
Yeah. So the Tron coaster, which I'm still waiting for a name on other than Tron coaster, construction went vertical this past week. Yeah. So they're starting to actually build the track, which is kind of interesting. They're actually building it out pretty much in the open. And you can see it from the Tomorrowland Transit Authority, People Mover. Yep. You got some good views of it there as you go by. I think John's been posting some pictures of that on our Instagram and Facebook.
John Hoyt.
And I got to give him a lot of credit.
John
H. He is putting amazing pictures up. I mean, he is doing a bang up job. Thank you, John.
Yes, thank you, John Hoyt. The interesting thing, though, is they've put up in the construction video new concept art of the ride. So check that out. It's on the discussion boards. They're giving you some different views of it.
Oh,
It
cool.
looks a little bit different than the one in Shanghai.
What?
Yeah. So I don't know if it's just the way they've drawn the art or the lighting.
I don't have my sound effect.
I know.
Art does not always imitate life to an exact science, but it looks a little bit different, at least from the videos I saw that have been posted. When Michael was out there, I know some of the pictures he took. It looks the lighting looks, I guess, a little different is the main thing. So they've had a few years to maybe perfect some of it.
I would think so. There's been some technology advances.
Yes, it'll be interesting to see how that exactly compares once it's open. But it will be interesting because it looks like they might actually build the track first and then kind of the structure around it, which of course is the opposite of like what they're doing over at Guardians at Epcot, where I think they built the big box first, and then you've been able to see a little bit of the track being built, but most of that seems to be being built inside the shell itself. So
big box, that's putting it very nicely. That thing is like a stadium.
Painted 3 different colors. That was kind of interesting. They, rather than going with the classic go-away green, they kind of did different levels to, I guess, try to help blend it with the tree line.
Yeah.
So
They did a good job on that. I enjoyed that, seeing that.
All right, so we're running out of time. What else do we got here?
Designer Mickey and Minnie ears are going to start getting released. So there's going to be Coach Minnie ears and a bunch of really cool, really cool Mickey hats. So Minnie ears have gotten the love. What?
How much would you guys spend on something? For instance, like they're going to come out one per week starting May 24th. And there's going to be like Vera Wang is going to design one, and Coach, and there's other. I've never heard of these people, but
I don't think they've released the pricing yet, have they?
They gave a range.
Okay.
So what would you pay for a designer? Sometimes it will be the headband kind. Sometimes it's the beanie with the 2 ears.
Yeah, I was going to say the
maximum you would pay for something like that.
I was going to say the mouse ear hats are finally getting some love after all the mini ear headband styles. They're going to come out with like 20 different mouse ear hats. So,
guess. Just give me a guess what you think the pricing is.
Well, I'm going to go with those designers you said right there. I'm going to say minimum $99.
I was going to go $89. $89.99.
I will bid $1.
Okay, you ready? I don't know.
I think they're both overpriced. But
there's people going to pay it anywhere from $60 to $600.
Wow.
Yeah.
No. Wow. You said it would be available. People could pay that much. Yeah, you're right. People will pay. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, if you go to the boards, the one that Heidi Klum is wearing looks like that might be a $600 one.
Yeah, that's got crystals sewn on it. It's pretty fancy. Hand sewn crystal and pearls by Vera Wang. A decadent crystal encrusted ear hat from the Blondes. For those of you at home, here's a little picture. I don't know.
That's Heidi.
It's pretty glamorous.
I really like the it all started with a mouse ear hat and the tiki bird ear hat that they also released pictures of.
I saw that they all started with the mouse one. I saw it was on our homepage. So
that one there.
Yeah, kind of like that.
I do like that one. Yeah,
dig it.
So,
although I'm still not buying it.
No,
I might.
I don't know. I'm just beyond mouse ears at this point.
I am beyond mouse ears, but I do kind of like this tiki one.
Yeah.
It's got the bird.
I don't think I would wear them, but
now, have you actually ever worn like the Mickey ears like that in the parks?
My daughter has a bunch of the headband kind, and I will wear them just to keep my hair out of my face on a hot day. So yeah, I'll do it for that. But I haven't worn like the beanie kind before. No.
The only one I ever wore was like the Jack Skellington one. You know that everybody has. That's like I wore that like at a Halloween party. But other than that, they're not comfortable.
I got the Oswald one.
Oh. With the straight up
ears?
Yeah, with the really long.
Nice.
That's neat.
But I to the point, again, for going since 1974 to the parks, I don't need more crap. Like I just don't. I'm so selective in anything I buy anymore. So that's going to take up.
I keep telling myself that, but
well, it's just funny when we go. Dawn has to decide which ears she's bringing with her. I mean, it's a selection of. Now she probably has upwards of 20. And then the interchangeable and whatnot. Yeah, it's crazy. So.
Yeah, Chris wants to know, where would one wear $600 ears? Don't get them wet.
Yeah, like you can wear them in the parks and not feel like an idiot, but are you really going to I'm going down to Walmart, going to put on my ears?
Yeah.
That'd be a fun guest relations experience. I lost my $600 ears on Splash Mountain. Where are they?
Yeah, really.
I need a replacement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
About
We'll see.
Maybe a kicker. One last thing.
There's a lot of new signature food popping up, mostly at the Magic Kingdom.
Okay.
Food good.
So they've got like an Aladdin donut. They've got a Mickey milkshake. It's a strawberry milkshake with yellow cotton candy and a white Mickey marshmallow. That's over in Tomorrowland.
Oh, that sounds terrible.
Also a
I'm sorry. Cotton candy
also,
and a milkshake?
Yeah, there's also
cotton candy and what?
A milkshake.
Yeah, they do that at restaurants here all the time. You get a milkshake, and then it's like a big tuft of it kind of as a garnish.
Yeah, so DQ has the cotton candy blizzard right now. Love it. It's awesome.
Sorry.
And there's an Orange Bird cupcake, but only at Saratoga Springs for some odd reason. So if you're obsessed with Orange Bird, go over to Saratoga Springs when you're at Disney Springs, I guess.
Okay.
There's the Aladdin donut, which also has cotton candy. Sorry, Justin. There is now I'm kind of disappointed they're not keeping this going until November. It ends June 30th, but there is a Mickey-shaped donut now available. I think it's in Tomorrowland and Fantasyland. So it's
a donut with two little circle donuts attached.
Yeah, but it's big. I think it's kind of reminds me a little bit of the Springfield donut, but a little bit smaller. I think
the lard donut.
Yeah. So, but they got that. I'm a sucker for any Mickey shaped food. So they've added those treats. Most of those are available only throughout the summer, though. So I think all those are going away June 30th. So if you're out there this summer, get one of those, I'm sure, Instagram-worthy snacks and enjoy.
Excellent. Good stuff.
I think that's everything.
I think that may be most everything, but
it's always something.
There is. So thanks
for
for
the board
listening.
For.
Everybody. Yeah, actually, I was going to mention that. So if you are tired of Facebook, you're tired of the standard social media, stop on by intercot.com, hit up the discussion boards. Discussions going on right now about Dole Whips. Let's see.
There's a big discussion about the Halloween party, the first Halloween party.
Halloween party, adult beverages in the Magic Kingdom. Of course, Jason posting stuff all the time. He's got the 11 new Disney Legends for 2019 up there. Oh, yeah. So check it out.
If you're planning a trip and you have a question about like how do I get from here to that place or anything, everybody will chime in and give you your answer.
Yeah, unlike Facebook, we don't talk politics. We just talk Disney. So just come on by, and you want to break from all the crap that's going on out there. Lots of nice people over on the discussion boards. We've been online since 1997, folks. And there are a lot of great people who have been with us for almost that whole ride. Lots of great knowledge, things to soak up there. Be sure and support our sponsors, Magical Journeys, the official ticket center, and also support our transportation sponsor, Quicksilver Transportation. If you're looking to get from the airport to the hotels, don't want the cattle thing going on in the buses, Gregory will take care of you there and get you to your resort extra quick and in comfort.
And style.
Yeah, and style. So for Jason, Justin, Carolyn, and myself, I am still John. Thanks for tuning in and follow along with us, not only on the site, but on all our social media channels. Just search for Intercot on whichever one you follow the most. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Bye now.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Enjoy your Game of Thrones night.
Bye-bye.
Yay.
Indeed. Thanks to everybody for participating, too. Oh, I like this. Chris says, Intercot is sure crap-free. Oh,
Nice.
that's nice.
It sure is.
Gotta get a shirt made with that.
Yeah, I know. Intercot. None
For
of the
sure,
crap of the
crap-free.
internet.
100%
We're
crap-free.
100% internet crap-free.
Nice.
I think we may have to do that. Thanks for the idea, Chris. All right, everybody. We'll see you next time. Bye now.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.